The sale starts 30 days before the buyer calls, and most developers aren't there for any of it. I'm Andy. We built the website, the digital twin, and the automated follow-up for boutique real estate developers at Wow Design. So your team always knows who's ready to buy before they pick up the phone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what actually happens in the weeks before a buyer ever contacts you, what they're doing, what they're deciding, and what it costs you to be invisible during that window. The invisible window. So most developers think the sales process starts when the buyer submits their interest, but it doesn't. It starts way before it. So buyers research pre-construction purchases for weeks and sometimes even months before they ever reach out. The research happens at night, on weekends, and in quiet moments, without anyone from your team knowing it's happening. There's new data, so 67% use AI to research nowadays. So it's the primary research method, up from just 70% just 18 months ago. This is the fastest behavior shift in real estate market history. Then there is the 18 months invisible window. Buyers making a 500 to 800,000 pre-construction decision spend 3 to 18 months researching before they ever call or show any real interest by submitting a form, calling you or whatsoever. And your team only sees the last moment. Buyer has already done most of the deciding before of that. So stage 1 is the research phase. Here's what a serious pre-construction buyer probably does before they ever contact you. First of all, they visit your website, right? So they look at the floor plans, not the PDFs, the interactive ones, if you have them. They check the pricing, they read every word on your developer page. Then they leave without a trace. No form submitted, no call, nothing. Your website registers none of this. A PDF download at best. And then they come back, usually twice or 3 times over the next week. They are not browsing anymore, they're confirming. Every return visit is a buyer getting closer to a decision. And 70% of a buyer decision happens before they ever contact your team, before they submit a form, before they call you, before they ever contact you. And if you can't see what they are doing during these 70%, you're basically flying blind on the part that matters the most. Stage 2, the comparison phase. So while your buyer is researching you, they're researching 2 or even 3 other projects at the same time. And they're not comparing brochures, they're building a mental spreadsheet. And the project that answers the most questions without requiring a phone call wins the first round. This means if your competitor has a live floor plan navigator with real-time pricing and yours only has a PDF download form, the buyer is going to get further with them fast. They're not waiting for your sales team to explain the project. They're deciding which project explains itself well enough to be worth calling. Stage 3, the intent signals. So this is where serious buyers separate from browsers, and most developers can't even tell the difference. Here are the signals a buyer gives you before they ever reach out. Number 1, return visits. A browser, he just visits your website once, but a serious buyer, he comes back twice in 1 week, even 3 times or more. That's a purchase signal, not idle browsing. The unit specificity. They stopped looking at the whole building and started focusing on only 2 units. Maybe it's 2 corner units, maybe it's the unit on the first floor and a unit on the 3rd floor. Whatever, but that's a mental commitment forming already. And then number 3, off hours activity. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., early Saturday morning. That's due diligence, not casual interest. They are running scenarios in their head. They're imagining themselves in their own unit. Then pricing behavior. They filtered under a specific price point. They know their number. They're not still figuring out their budget anymore. Every one of these is a data point your team could act on before the buyer decides to reach out, or decides not to. Most developers never see any of this. The buyer leaves no trace on their website. The outreach moment. After weeks of invisible research, the buyer reaches a threshold. They've confirmed enough to take a step. They submit the form or they call. Or, and this is the part nobody talks about, they don't. Maybe they don't do it. They get close, they had a question, they couldn't answer it on your site and move to the project that answered it. I've talked to developers who didn't know they were losing buyers in this window because the buyer never told them. They just stopped coming back to your site, no form, no call, nothing. The sale you didn't know you were in is the hardest one to fix because by the time you find out, it's probably already over and they move to the other project. 78% of buyers work with the first developer who responds. The first. Not the best, not the lowest price. The first one to respond with something real. And this is important. It has to be something real. It has to show real steps and like prove what's coming next, what to do, how you're gonna help them, everything, you know? Two developers, same buyer. Let me show you this and how it plays out in this example. Developer A, he is invisible during the research phase. So the buyer visits the site 4 times over 2 weeks. Developer A sees nothing. Buyer submits interest. He submits a form. Auto reply goes out. Thanks, we'll be in touch. Sales rep calls 24 hours or even 48 hours or later with no context. Buyer says, I'm still thinking. The deal probably dies. Developer A never knew what happened. Then we have developer B. He's present during the research phase. Same buyer, same 2 weeks. Developer B's system tracked every visit. He knew which unit the buyer focused on. He knew they came back 3 times. He knew they went quiet for 4 days and came back after. That's a peak readiness signal. When the buyer submits interest, developer B's rep calls within the hour. I saw you were spending time on 2-bedroom corner units. I wanted to reach out before those moved. That's not a lucky guess. That's just knowing what the buyer already showed you. Developer B closes and wins the deal. Same project, same price, completely different sales processes. So what's next? I'm Andy Bittner, founder of Wow Design. We built the website, the digital twin, and the automated follow-up system for boutique real estate developers. So your sales team always knows who's ready to buy before they pick up the phone. Every month, your unit sits unsold, has a number attached to it. Enter your project details, get your monthly carry cost with our free carry cost calculator. It changes how you think about sales speed. Link below in the description. You want to see a live demo? See all the 3 systems working together on a real project? Book your walkthrough and watch the website, digital twin, and automated follow-up system in action. Link below in the description. You want to work together. If you're running pre-sales right now and your team is calling blind, let's talk. Link below in the description. And don't forget to subscribe. Every week I break down pre-sales, buyer behavior, and what's actually working in boutique real estate. Subscribe so you don't miss it.